Hello, good afternoon, investor and corporate. Welcome to SET Digital Roadshow 2021 Year-End Performance Review. This section will run about 45 minutes, including Q&A. Company will start the section by 30-minute presentation, followed by 15-minute Q&A. And during Q&A, investor may leave your question in meeting room chat box or use raise your hand function. Then we will open your microphone so you can ask the question to the company directly. So may I now invite PTT Public Company Limited to start the presentation, please. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you to join our section. So let us begin with the first activity in the first quarter of this year. Then we will follow up by the sector performance and then wrap up on the outlook. So for the first page is for the key activity of the PTT in the first quarter of this year. On the left hand side is for the PTT and on the right hand side is our phrase. As we already introduced our new vision, powering life with future energy and beyond. So for future energy in this quarter, we are starting from the Arun Plus. We established the company called the Nuovo Plus, with Arun Plus and TPSC hold 51% and 49% less respectively. The registered capital of this company is around 4,200 million. The objective of the company is to establish the experiment to study the possibility of the investment in the battery value chain in order to support the EV industry according to the Thailand automotive industry policy to promote electric vehicle as well as the energy storage system for the renewable and also investment in related business as well. And on the February of 28th, Nuovo Plus approved the acquisition of the battery related asset from the PT Group company with total amount not exceed the 2,900 million. Secondly, we are already established the Horizon Plus company, which registered capital is not exceed 3,220 million, with Arun Plus and RE, which is the affiliate of the Falcon. Arun Plus we hold 60% and RE we hold 40% stake. In this one, the purpose is to operate EV manufacturing business in Thailand. The Horizon Plus expect to release the FID within the mid of this year, and then the commercial operation will start within the first quarter of 2024. On the sector of the beyond energy, another one is we established the React, which is the company to do the trading platform for the clean energy and also climate neutrality. For the beyond energy, we do the JV with GAF and the checks overseas through the PG tanks to operate the Lam Chabang port phase 3. The port is expected to start construction on 2023 and then commercial operation on 2029. And also, Innovate Asia, we increased the stake in Lotus Pharmaceutical. Previously, we hold around 6.66% share to be around 37% share. The deal is expected to be closed within this first quarter of this year. After the closing, Innovate will then have the intellectual holding in Lotus approximately around 37% and also 60% of the total issue capital for the Adobo. The next one is PTT has capped the NGV price for the taxi around 13.62 baht per kilo starting from the 1st of November. And also for the NGV for the retail, we capped at the 15.95 baht per kilo starting from the 16th of November. Lastly, we have the divestment of the Eastern Mediterranean gas with the approximately selling price is around $50 million to SNAM. The transaction caused the EMT to East to be the association company of the PTTER. For the affiliate, starting from PTEP, the announcement that the PTT MENA has signed the farm-in farm-out agreement to acquire 20% stake of the concessionary area C in the UAE. Secondly, PTEP established 3 subsidiaries to support a future investment in renewable energy business as per detail as follow. First one is a Future Tech Energy Venture Company Limited. Secondly, a Future Tech Solar Company, and then the Delta Gas Transportation. For the OR, we expect the Horizon Venture with initial value around $25 million to investment in high potential startup company in Thailand and also in Southeast Asia. And for the non-oil, OR investment in the IMSUP Cuisine Company Limited with total investment not exceed 192 million baht. The IMSUP is owned and operate Koen brand, Japanese restaurant along with other brand as well. And also we purchased the share of Kamui Company Limited from its former shareholder around 25%. The investment amount not exceeds 480 million baht. So next page, please. So come to the key driver for our company in fourth quarter and for the year 2021. Starting from the petroleum price, the Dubai price and the fuel oil price, both Q&Q and the year-on-year is increasing. For the Q-on-Q, Dubai price increasing around 9% and fuel oil price increasing around 5%. But if you compare 2021 with 2020, Dubai price increasing around 64% and fuel oil price increasing around 63%, mainly from the demand recovery, also from the easing of lockdown and vaccine rollout. On your right-hand side, the natural gas, the average gas pool price also increasing. Q-on-Q is increasing around 19%, and also for year 21 compared to year 20, increasing around 5%, mainly from the import LNG from both increasing in the selling price as well as increasing in the volume. For the petrochemical price, if the fourth quarter compared to the third quarter, olefin is increasing due to the economic recovery and also the delay of startup of new plant. However, for aromatic is dropped around 3%, mainly from the dual controversy in China as well as a high stock inventory in China as well. But for the year-on-year, year 2021 compared to year 2020, both olefin and aromatic also increasing due to the demand recovery, result from easing lockdown and vaccine rollout. For the FX, okay, for the FX, for fourth quarter, the FX, we have FX gain in fourth quarter because of baht appreciation around 0.5 baht per US dollar, whereas if year 2021 versus year 2020, we have the FX loss due to the baht depreciation around 3.4 baht per US dollar. So next, I will transfer to Kun Apanan to tell you on our performance.
Okay, on page number 3, we will talk about the PTT consolidated performance. Start with the quarter to quarter. The revenues increased by 23% from most of all businesses, mainly from the tradings and PNR and the oil business, due to the higher average selling price of the petroleum and petrochemical products, and the higher sales volume as well, following the economics recover after the easing of lockdowns. Moreover, for the gas business also increased as well from the higher average selling price, but from the S&M and GSP business, despite the overall of the sales volume decrease when we compare to the previous quarter. By the way, when we look to the EBITDA for quarter to quarter, the EBITDA decreased around 8%, mainly from the decrease in the performance of petrochemicals and refining business due to the lower petrochemical product spread of the aromatic and olefins. Meanwhile, the refining's performance increased due to the higher accounting GIM from the $3.2 per barrel in the third quarter to the $5.9 per barrel in the fourth quarter due to the higher market GIM. For the gas business also decreased from the S&M and NGV business due to the higher gas costs, despite the GSP performance improved due to the rise of the average selling price following the higher reference petrochemical price. However, the exploration and production business improved mainly from the rise of the average selling price and sales volume as well. That leads to for the net income quarter to quarter in the quarter four increased around 16% from 23.7 billion baht to 27.5 billion baht, mainly from the lower loss on derivative and the higher gain on FX. However, the tax expense increased due to the better performance of the E&P business. In addition, in quarter to quarter, there was a non-recurring items, mainly from the impairments of the assets around 7,000 million baht, but I will give you more detail on the next slide. And we back to the revenues for the year in 2021 comparing to 2020. The revenue increased around 40%, mainly from all businesses due to the higher average selling price of petroleum and petrochemical price, following the recovered economic activity from the last year. That leads to the EBITDA also increase as well, around 90% from the most of business, mainly from P&R business, which significantly improved from the increase in the stock gain following the crude oil price, while in 2020 there was a stock loss that resulted in the higher accounting GRM. In addition, for petrochemical products, spread both of olefin and aromatics also improves as well. Furthermore, for the exploration and production business, it's also increased due to the higher sale volume and the average selling price. The performance of the gas business also increased, mainly from the GSP, from the higher average selling price due to the petrochemical prices also increased and the higher sale volume as well. Moreover, for the international trading business, the performance improved from the rise of the spread of domestic crude and condensates together with the higher sale volume. That leads to for the net income in 2021, as you can see from the chart, that increased mainly from the better EBITDA, as I mentioned. However, the tax expense is increased following the improved performance of the group, and the loss of derivative and loss on foreign exchange rate also increased as well. So we flip to the next page. On page number 4, we have the waterfall comparisons in the fourth quarter compared to the last quarter. PTT consolidated performance, the net income increased around 16% from 23.6 billion baht to 27.5 billion baht. If we excluded the extra items, mainly from the impairments, as I mentioned before, the net income will increase around 43%, which is around 10 billion baht. So we take a look for the margin first. The margin, as you can see on the middles, that decreased from the P&R business, gas business, and the oil, and trading business, sorry. While E&P and oil business also improved. For the stock gains also decreased because the crude oil price increased in the lower extent compared to the previous quarter. And we take a look for the, however, there was the recognition of the non-recurring item, as I mentioned in quarter 4, mainly from, there were the impairments on the Mozambique and Yed Lagoon project of PTT, NGV business of the PTT, and GC impairment on the US cracker project, which total amount account around for 7,000 million baht. Moreover, there was the other extra items such as the take or pay benefit that we returned to the government from PTT, according to the resolution of SEPA, around by 2,700 million baht. And the PTT benefit from discount from the production shortfall, around 1,700 million baht. And we have gain on disposals of investment in the gas pipeline in Egypt, around 1,400 million baht. And in the fourth quarter 2021, there was a lower loss on derivative and a higher gain on FX. As previous I mentioned, that's what resulted in the PTT consolidated net profit in the quarter 4 is increased as shown on the graph. Then we flip to the next page that about the waterfall comparing to year 2021 comparing year 2020. All the business improved, as you can see on the line charts, that improved more than 100%. However, there were the recognition of the non-recurring items for PTT portion in 2021, mainly from the PT group impairment, lost approximately by 9,000 million baht from PTEP, PTT, and GC, as I mentioned before. And there also has a PTEP partial write-off the asset in Brazil, approximately 2,900 million baht. And PT recognition take or pay, as I told before, and the loss from the restructuring of Emery Group of GC, approximately 1,000 million baht. Moreover, PTT has a write-off on obsolete material and supply, approximately 700 million baht. And why there were the PTT gain on bargains purchased in Oman Block 61, approximately 7,000 million baht. PTT also have the benefit to discount from the production shortfall as I mentioned, and the gain disposal on the gas pipeline in Egypt as well. Meanwhile, in 2020, we also have the loss from non-recurring item as well, mainly from the impairment loss on asset, approximately 9,000 million baht from PTGM coal assets, the mining assets, and Marina Oil Sand project and Yetagun project from of PTTEP. So the PTT consolidated net income increased more than 100% from 37.7 billion baht to 108 billion baht. Flip to the next page on page number 6, that about the financial positions. Start with the bar chart. The PTT asset increased 21% or 534 billion baht. This is mainly from the increase in other non-current assets from the increase in intangible and the goodwill from GC acquisition of Onyx, higher PPE from the PTEP business acquisition of the Oman Block 61, and Thai Oil from the construction progress of CFP project. But when we're comparing to the liability, that also increase in interest-bearing debt from the increase in long-term borrowing and bond issuance, and the equity also increased as well. But when we move to the right-hand side for the ratios, they are still below their policy, 2 times for net debt to EBITDA and 1 time for net debt to equity. In conclusion, as you can see from the chart, that PTT has a strong balance sheet and maintain credit rating at a certain level. For the next page about the dividends, and the dividend we just announced for 2 baht per share for the performance of 2021, and the payout ratio around 53%, and the payment date will held on 29 April of 2022. By the way, PTT aims to maintain the growth in the both dividend payout ratio as well as in the absolute number. So I will hand over to Khun Thanapol again to give you about summary on the CAPEX, outlook, and guidance. Please welcome.
Okay. For PT, we just announced our new CAPEX 5 years new CAPEX plan on last December. So we plan to have investment around 102 billion Thai baht, or around 3.2 billion US dollar. Majority will be invested in gas and infrastructure in Thailand, around 82% on the blue path. So the investment will be on the LNG terminal, both LNG terminal 2 and as well as the Mataput Freight 3, and also the transmission pipeline for the 5th onshore pipeline, as well as a pipeline to connect from Bang Pakon to South Bangkok. For the gas separation plant, also we plan to build the gas separation plant number 7 to replace the gas separation plant number 1, and also gas separation plant number 8 to extract ethane from the LNG, as well as building the ethane storage to prepare for import ethane to the petrochemical. Another 16% will be investment in new business and infrastructure, mainly which is Arun Plus, which is EV value chain, as well as Lam Chabang Port Phase 3, and also Innobic, which is life science, venture capital, and ECI. Another 2% will be investment in trading and others. We also set the provisional uncommitted CAPEX, another 238 billion baht. Mainly we focus on the investment in the future energy and also the new business, including life science, renewable energy, EV value chain, logistics infrastructure, as well as the pipeline network and energy value chain. For the next page, please. For PT Group CAPEX, for the next 5 years, we plan to investment around 944 billion Thai baht, or around 39 billion US dollar. Half of it, around 54%, will be investment to PTEP, which is upstream business, both domestic and overseas. Another 31% is in new investment in downstream, which have the key project as follows. For GC, they just acquired Onyx. For the top, they have the green fuel projects. OR, they will investment to expand oil and retail, both non-oil and oil, which is both domestic and also international. IRPC, they will do the ultra green fuel projects. 11% is for PT and 100% owned, which I already mentioned, and the rest 4% will be investment in the power business, such as in renewable and also ERU. We also set the provisional capex another 747 billion Thai baht as well. Next page is outlook. For this year, we expect Dubai will be in range around 100 to 105, compared to last year around 69.2 US dollar per barrel, from the recovery of the demand as well as a geopolitical tension. However, concern of the Omicron and the OPEC Plus that are key to continue to increase the production around 400 KBD per month, as well as the US supply category recover will be pressure on the market. The refined product we expect to be increased in line with the Dubai price as well. Plus the Singapore GIM will be improved from last year around 3.4 US dollar per barrel to 6 to 7 US dollar per barrel this year. The improvement majority come from the recovery of the gasoline and also middle distillates. For the gas, LNG spot price we expect to be around 22.7 US dollar per MMBTU, compared to last year around 18.5 US dollar per MMBTU, supported by the geopolitical tension, and then European gas stock hit the record low. And also however, the pressure will be the more US LNG export. Next page, please. For the petrochemical, we expect both olefin and aromatic the price will be increasing compared to the last year. For the olefin, will be from the tightened Asian supply, and also we expect demand to recovery. However, the additional capacity will be the pressure of the olefin price. For aromatics as well, we expect the price to be increased compared to the last year from the lower supply from the production cut due to the squeeze margin and seasonal turnaround on later Q1 and Q2. Higher demand from new capacity of the downstream petrochemical, strong feedstock cost to support aromatic price. However, the additional capacity will be also pressure the olefin price as well. The next page will be show you our guidance for this year. Starting from the exploration and production, for the E&P, we expect the volume to be increased around 12%, and unit cost will drop around 2 to 5% due to we acquired the Oman Block 61 last year. And sale price also increasing according to the global oil price as well. For the gas business, we expect that domestic gas will be slightly increasing. However, the gas cost in this year will higher compared to last year's due to we have to import more LNG spot. And the CAGR for the gas demand still be around 3.5%. The gas separation plant utilization rate this year will be around 82 to 87% compared to last year around 90%. So it's dropped a little bit due to the lower gas supply from the Gulf of Thailand. For the oil market, we expect the domestic demand to be resumed according to the GDP increasing, as well as we expand our oil station, another 186 stations, both domestic and international. As well as for the Cafe Amazon, we also plan to expand another 500 stores, both domestic and international as well. For the P&R, refinery margin will be the gross refinery margin will be improved. From last year, I already mentioned 3.4 to 6 to 7 dollar per barrel this year. However, for the utilization rate this year, we will drop a little bit to be around 91 to 95% due to the refinery have been shut down in the second half of this year. For the petchem, we expect the price to be increasing from the higher demand from economic recovery and the vaccination rollout. However, the more capacity will be pressure on the petrochemical price. For the power, we expect the domestic demand will be recovered. And for future energy, we have the target to expand our EV charger. For Arun Plus, we expect to install another 1,350 units. And for OR, they will expand another 200 inside station and 150 unit outside the PT station. And for the EV.me, which is application to rental the EV car, we will increasing the fleet from last year around 200 car to be around 500 car this year. For a new business, we will starting to recognize the income from the Lotus in second quarter of this year. On your right hand side is the upcoming project on this year. So we will have the 5th onshore pipeline COD, fully COD on the December of this year. For the LNG Terminal 2 as well, fully COD will be the December of this year. However, for the first phase, we will COD mid of this year around 2.5 million tons per annum. For the Arunpat or the JV Big Foxconn, we plan to FID in the mid of this year. For IRPC, there we have non-fabric products around 5.6 KTA COD in the second quarter of this year, and GC they have the high Sakura plastic resin plant capacity around 45 KTA COD in the first quarter. And for TPSC, there our solar power platform in India will gradually COD from since last year until 2023, and the last on the below is the maintenance schedule in 2022. For the gasification plant, we will have the gasification plant number 2 and number 3 turned down, as well as the e-gasification plant major shutdown in the second quarter of this year, around 23 days. And the third quarter, we have gasification plant number 4 major shutdown another 20 days, as well as in the Q4, gasification plant number 5 will shut down around 15 days. For the petrochemical, they will schedule the shutdown at the same time of our gasification plants. So thank you.
So that's all our presentation section. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop your question at the chat box or raise hand by the functions. As I check right now, there is no question from the online. So if you have the further questions, please feel free to email us to PTTIR as shown on the slide right now. The email is ptt-ir@pttplc.com. And thank you for today to joining our sessions, and see you next time. Thank you.
Okay. The section has come to an end. So on behalf of the Stock Exchange of Thailand, I would like to thank you, investor and corporate, for joining the conference. We look forward to welcome you all again in the next quarter. Thank you very much and have a good day. ขอบคุณนะคะ